Happy holidays, everyone. I'm thrilled that we're all here together to start the holidays off. Hopefully you can all hear me. Yeah, okay. So we're going to start laying down on our backs. We're going to get comfortable and cozy. So if that means socks, a toque, mine's still being chewed on. So from your back, tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. We're going to wiggle around and get comfortable on our backs. If you bring your palms out to the side, imagine your starfish laying on your mat. Toes fall out. So this is really an opening posture, this Shavasana posture. We're just opening. And even though in English we call it a corpse pose, it is a pose. It's not very much like a corpse. We are active in this posture, even though we're fully relaxed and supported by the floor. And when you are comfortable, notice your breath. Where are you breathing? There's no judgment here. We are just observing, noticing. And when you feel ready, begin to imagine that those lungs are sitting like balloons in your rib cage, and we're going to blow them up from the bottom to the top. Your lungs, your balloons are whatever size they happen to be in your body. So without force, just focus, inhale, expand the belly, the rib cage, the chest. And then as you exhale, pull the belly button in, letting all that air out, and then inhale again. And that's the rhythm. Finding yours. Like I said, just with focus. We're not forcing anything here. We're just allowing the breath to come in and go out. Starting our holiday season from a place of centered and groundedness with our breath. And coming back to this place of breath whenever you need to. Today and every day. But as we're starting our Christmas together, just opening up through the collarbones, opening up through the heart, expanding our lungs. And again, a place of openness, allowing your heart light to shine. Slowing down in our body and mind so that we can remember what it feels like to be in this state of calm and bring ourselves back whenever we need to. Inhale. Exhale. Keeping this connection to your breath throughout our practice today as we move in and out of our gentle postures. Begin to slowly wiggle through those fingers and toes, just gently moving. And then slowly and gently rock your head from side to side if your neck says that's okay for you. And rotate through the wrists and ankles. And then on an inhalation, bring that head back to center, draw your legs together, stretch your arms up overhead. Let's get long and tall, taking up as much space as we can, getting ourselves longer and taller, and embodying our full height and length. And while we're long, walk your heels over to the right corner of your mat, keeping your shoulders back and down, slide them over to the right as well. So you'll end up in a C shape, breathing out of the rib cage on the left, creating space between your armpit and your hip. Draw both shoulders back and down. Breathe. And then inhale to center. Exhale, walk your heels to the left, slide the shoulders left. Find your C shape on this side, drawing those shoulders back and down. Breathing out the right side of your rib cage, getting space and a stretch. And then inhale everything back to center. Let's stretch long. Stretch and reach those fingers up. And then as you exhale, draw your knees into chest and begin to walk, rock side to side. And as always, throughout our practice, making sure you're listening to your body. So if something doesn't feel right, make an adjustment. We're here for a gentle stretch only. Bringing yourself back to center. Drop your feet wide so that they're to the outside edge of your mat and begin windshield wipers, dropping both knees one way and both knees the other way. You can bring your arms out into a T to anchor your shoulders as we work through those legs and hips this morning. Slow and gentle movement. Inhale, exhale. Noticing how those hips feel, just to have this different movement going on. Yeah, one more each way. And then bringing the soles of the feet a little closer together, about hip or knee distance apart. Bring your hands alongside your hips. We're moving into a bridge. On an inhalation, float your hips up, press through the soles of your feet. And while you're up here, bring your arms up and over. If your shoulders say that's okay. If not, bring them into a T. And then exhale, lower your hips and your arms at the same time. So on an inhalation, we're going to lift up, float the arms up and over, stretch and reach, and exhale down. Let's do that a couple more times together. And as you do, inhale, lift, engage your glutes, press through the soles of your feet, opening up the front of the body. Exhale, lower down. One more. Inhale, up and over, stretch and reach, press, press, press through those feet. And then as you exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Draw your knees into chest. Roll over onto your right side. And then slowly press yourself up to whatever your comfortable seated position is this morning. I prefer cross-legged, easy pose, but everyone's different. If this doesn't work for you, find something that does. Hands over heart in prayer posture. We're going to start with our thumbs pressing up against our sternum, that breastbone. And then on an inhalation, float those arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring those hands over heart. Inhale those arms out over the floor. Exhale back in. And that's our sequence. Move with your breath. Inhale up, exhale down. See if you can inhale maybe to a count of 4, exhale to a count of 4. Or if you've been doing this for a while, maybe you can now count to 8 or 6. But it is a balancing and centering breath, slow and steady. If you feel yourself sinking and slouching, just lengthen through your spine, crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Let's do one more round. So wherever you are, finish off. And the round is up, down, out, in. Take your time here. This is the non-rushing part of our holidays, and we're going to take our time and enjoy it. Whenever you are done, move through your shoulders. Take your time with your breath. But when you're done, what does it look like? How do your shoulders want to move? Do you want to make big circles or just roll the shoulders? Just creating movement, loosening up. Again, opening up through those collarbones. Opening up through the heart. Wherever you happen to be, begin to reverse this. Bringing any movement that's right for you, best for you this morning. Awesome. Let's do one more. And let's roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Place your fingertips alongside your hips. Press through them to get a little bit taller. Drop the shoulders, so it's not about shrugging. Lengthen, and then inhale, look up. Again, opening up through that front of your body. Roll the eyes up. Roll the eyes up more than drop the head back, because we don't want too much pinchy happening back there. And then for an extra layer of stretch, press your jaw forward. And even though we're holding this, make sure you're still breathing. And then inhale that head to center. Let's tuck the chin back. Exhale, look down. Breathe into the stretch in the back of your neck this time. Beautiful. Inhale, center. Let's exhale, look over one shoulder, draw the opposite one back. So our body's not twisting, we're just holding that shoulder, holding our shoulders square. Lift the chin slightly. Look back with your eyes. And then inhale, center. Exhale, look the other way. Draw the opposite shoulder back, keeping them square. And then gently look back with the eyes. And then inhale this all to center. Let's release the hands in the laps, palms up. If you want to move into a mudra with the thumb and forefinger, you're welcome to do that, or just relax the fingers down. Tuck the chin back slightly, look down, and find a small circle. And if circles don't work for your neck, if you have arthritis or anything that's uncomfortable, you can draw a square with your chin, which is just as great as circles. Take your pick, move into them, try both. Every day you roll out your yoga mat, it is different. And I like to think of it as just an experiment every day to see what your body will do on your mat. Do one more rotation in whatever direction you're going. Bring your head back to center, tuck the chin, look down, and find circles in the other direction. One more big rotation, whatever that means for you. Bringing your head back to center, finding that tall spine again. Let's interlace our fingers. And we're just going to rotate through our wrists. Just getting them moving because we spend all day typing, texting, mostly, or other things. Let's go the other way. And then we're going to turn this into a bit of brain yoga. Let's take our hands apart and then put the non-dominant fingers on top and the non-dominant thumb. It's going to feel weird, and then we're going to rotate. Just getting movement into the wrists and making our brain think of it differently. Okay, come back to center. Now we're going to reverse this. It's the weirdest way yet. We have non-dominant fingers interlaced in non-dominant direction. All right. Come back to center. Bring your hands apart. Give your wrists and fingers a shake. Great job. Place the soles of your feet together so you have a big wide diamond shape. Sit up nice and tall, tip forward, and find a circle, whatever that means to you. Round your spine as you go back. Bring your chest forward, or do whatever movement in the circle that feels right for you. We're getting into our back here, low back. If you extend through the crown of your head, if you're rounding, you're doing different stretches, whatever works for you this morning. One more in this direction. Find your center with your breath, other way. Amazing. One more. And coming back up to a nice tall spine. Send your legs long, toes point up. Root your sit bones into your mat. Give them a little wiggle. Roll your shoulders, plant your fingertips or your hands alongside your hips once again. This time we're moving into an L shape, staff posture. Chin is parallel over the floor. Notice your breath. Notice your belly. It has to engage to take the pressure off your hip flexors. If you need to bend your knees at all, please do so. Long spine. And with an inhalation, bring your arms alongside your ears, palms face each other. Let's stretch and reach up. And then as you exhale, lead with your collarbones, your chest to tip forward, even if you're just tipping a millimeter. And then drop your hands down. So keeping that spine nice and long, chest lifted. Take a look at your toes. I'm just gonna tip. So thinking about the stretch in the backs of your legs, but also lifting and tipping for the stretch out of your low back. So we're not rounding because we want that low back stretch. We might be sitting a lot over the holidays when we get tight in the hips and the low back. Awesome. Let's inhale to a tall spine. Keeping your legs long or finding your cross-legged position again. Bring your fingertips on your shoulders. We're going to rotate side to side. So inhaling and exhaling one way then the other. Okay, we're going to turn this into a twist. So the next time you go right, the left hand goes to the outside of your leg. Reach up. Give me a wave. Reach. And then drop that hand behind you. Press through the fingers. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, gently look back. Drop the shoulders. Relax the jaw. And looking back, just for a gentle spinal twist here. Breathe into your belly and your back. With your next inhale, let's float to center and right onto the other side. So right hand crosses, reach up. This lengthens everything. And then drop that hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, gently look back. Come back to your breath. Noticing where your range of motion is. Noticing your spine, what it feels like to move like this. And then inhale, float everything back to center. Let's just begin to wiggle through the spine. We're just going to create fluid movement, whatever that looks like for you without structure. Maybe it's a dance. Keeping everything supple in our spine. One more little wiggle each way. And then let's flip over onto our hands and knees, moving us into a tabletop position. So imagine you've got big wide fingers and all finger pads are gripping your mat and all four corners of your palm are down, knees under hips, and your core is engaged. So just notice that. Notice the grippiness of your fingers. Notice the stability in your palms. Notice your core. Amazing. On an inhale, we're going to drop and look into cow posture. So lifting the head, rounding the back down into that sway back. And then as you exhale, wave and round, move into cat. Press through the palms, really separating your shoulders. And then inhale, drop, look up. Exhale, wave and round, pressing through the palms. One more. Inhale, drop and look up. Exhale, wave and round. Press through the palms. And then coming back to your flat back. Moving back to our hips. We're going to do a hip to rib. So begin to look over your right shoulder and draw your right hip towards that shoulder. And then we're going to switch sides. So hip to rib on the other side. It's kind of like you're wagging a tail. We're going to flip one side to the other side with the breath. And if this feels too structured, then wiggle it in a different way. Let's do one more each way. Awesome. Coming back to center, walk your knees back and then shift your weight forward so you're in half of a push-up. Notice the core. If this feels good for you, stay. If you want to move into a full plank, if that's how your practice goes today, feel free. With your next exhalation, press up into an upside down V, downward facing dog, and then pedal your feet out. Picking up one heel, dropping the other, maybe wiggling through the hips, but again, keeping those hands rooted down. Hips are high, spine is super long. And then let's pause in our down dog. If you're walking it, just hold it. Press back. Get those hips higher and the spine longer. Nice job. With your next exhalation, drop back down onto your knees. And then take this right leg and bring it in front and sink the hips. Press the tops of your feet down. Stretching through our hip flexor, taking some breaths here. If you're stable, walk your hands up onto your quad without pressing on your knee. Just gently roll the shoulders up, back and down, lift the collarbones. If this is too easy and you're stable, bring your hands over heart or overhead. Nice work. Exhale, lower down and step back into your tabletop once again. All right, getting those hips ready for the holidays. All right, left foot forward, sink the hips. I hope you're still breathing. Coming back to your breath if you're holding it when you're holding your posture. And then walk your hands up if you'd like, or stay where you are. Lots of options. Find your posture on this side. Exhale, lower this down, move back into tabletop. From here, tuck those toes and just begin to walk your hands back towards your knees. So you're going to be getting, hopefully, a foot stretch here. And if this is too easy, walk your hands up and lean back. The angles are up to you. Just allowing the bottoms of your feet and your toes to give a little stretch. And from here, find yourself in a forward fold. So what do I mean by that? Hands, no hands, coming forward, however you like. Everyone transitions into a forward fold differently. So when you get here, you can dangle your arms, you can cross them, you can sway your upper body. Just a little bend in the knees so we're not overextending them. Bring the weight evenly in the front and the backs of your feet so that you can still wiggle your toes. and keep the weight in the center. Breathe. And then when you're ready, slide those hands up. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw the shoulder blades together. The body is parallel over the floor. Notice the core. Place your hands over heart in prayer posture. And as you exhale, sit in an imaginary chair. Tailbone rolls down. Sink a little lower. Knees stay in alignment. So imagine there's a yoga block in between your knees and you're trying to hold it. And then inhale, press and reach. Let's come up to a little back bend here. And exhale, bring those hands over heart. Great work. If you're not at the top of your mat, travel there. Bring your hands in prayer down. We're going to sweep up, moving into what we call the breath of joy. Inhale, sweep and reach and stretch and exhale. A couple more times. Inhale. Exhale, bend those knees. Inhale, sweep up, stretch and reach. Exhale, hands over heart. Nice work. I love that breath. Let's move into big wide straddle. And then turn the right toes to the right. So you're setting yourself up with the heel. If you draw a line, it hits the center of your back foot. And then inhale your arms parallel over the floor. Exhale, slide forward like you're in between two panes of glass. Your chest is forward. Drop the front arm. Reach up at the back arm. Triangle posture. So triangle can be up or down, depending on what your body needs you to do for it today. Breathe. Now taking this left hand, place it on your low back, your sacrum, fingers point down, draw the shoulder back. So we're opening up intercostally, getting those ribs moving. And then inhale, slide all the way up. And let's turn the feet forward. Give those hips a little wiggle. And then option one, use a strap and bring your hands behind you. Option two, interlace your hands behind you. And if those options don't work, keep your hands in your waist. If you're wherever you are, press your fists down, lift through the collarbones. You can do this whether your hands are on your waist or they're behind you. Nice. Exhale, tip forward, flat back, little bend in the knees. If your arms are behind you, pick them up and away from your low back. Nice work. On an inhalation, press through your feet, flat back, tip all the way back up. And release your hands. Good job. Roll through the shoulders. We get to do triangle on the other side. So flip the toes to the left. Inhale those arms parallel over the floor. Exhale, slide forward. Drop the front arm, reach up at the back arm. Finding your triangle on this side, keeping that chest pointed forward and not towards the floor if you can. And then placing your right hand on your sacrum, draw the shoulder back, turn the rib cage up. Nice work. Inhale, coming all the way up. Toes forward. Let's give the hips a little wiggle. And then heel toe in. Let's roll through the shoulders, palms forward. Yeah. Let's root down through our right foot, just picking up the heel on the left. Getting nice and long and tall. getting our body and mind prepared for balance. Pick up your left foot and place it on your shin, knee forward. This is Flamingo. Find your focal point in your breath. You're welcome to stay in Flamingo, or you're welcome to turn your knee out for tree, as long as the heel isn't pressing your knee, because knees don't go back and forth. So your tree is your tree, and your branches can be wherever you like, out to the side, overhead, over heart, wherever you need them to be for your balance. Breathe. Nice work, everyone. Inhale your knee. Let's lower that down. Good job. Root down to the left. Pick up the heel on the right. And then place this right foot on your left shin, knee forward. Starting in our Flamingo, staying here if this is your posture, or moving into your tree. Finding your branches on this side. Everyone, you look amazing and solid today. Inhale the knee, lower it down. Good job. Root down through your feet, roll the shoulders, palms forward. Let's pause in a mountain before we move on to our next balancing posture. Nice. Root down once again through the right. Take the toes on the left out to the side. They can stay here. And then bring your arms out into a T. Show me your shooting star. So palms up, staying here in your shooting star, or if you want to pick up the toes, you're welcome to do that and lean over. And again, if balance isn't your thing today, toes can be down. Up to you. Nice work. Exhale, lower this down. Root down through the left. Right toes out to the side. Bring your arms into the T, palms up, and lift if that feels right for you. Really using your core and your outside hip to hold you in the shooting star. Beautiful. Exhale, lower down. Let's move into our swing. So just letting your arms be loose, picking up the heel of the opposite foot you're standing on. Just letting the arms go, letting everything be loose. One more each way. And coming back to your center, root down and move into a mountain. Relax the fingers, relax the shoulders. Now, in any way that feels right and comfortable for you, come on down onto your sit bones. Some people might want to transition through a squat. Either way, come on down to your sit bones, soles of your feet together, knees out. You're always welcome to place something underneath your knees to support you, a blanket, a pillow, a block. Sitting up nice and tall. And then imagine you're pinching a pencil between your shoulder blades and you're getting taller. And if you'd like to tip forward, if that's part of your practice, feel free. If not, stay nice and tall. Keep that spine working and active for you, those muscles back there. And then with your next inhalation, draw those knees up. Leaning back slightly, lifting the collarbones. And then slowly, slowly using your core, lower yourself all the way down onto your mat and bring the knees into what I call bridge posture. So your heels are underneath your knees. Take your right leg and cross it over your left. Press the knee away and just give it a little rock. Coming back to center. Maybe you stay here, or you're welcome to reach in the window, pick up that left leg and move into a figure 4 stretch. Flex the toes so they're pointing up towards the ceiling. Tuck the chin in, lengthen through the spine. Come back into a long, slow breath to help remind the body to relax and release any tension that you have sitting in your hips. Beautiful. With your next exhalation, release this posture. Come back into the center and then cross left over right. Press the knee away, give it a little rock. And coming back to center and holding it here, or picking up that bottom right leg and finding your figure 4 hip stretch on this side. Breathing and allowing those hips to be open. And then exhale, lower that down. Make those feet wide again so they're touching the outside edges of your mat, arms into a T. Let's draw the knees one way then the other for windshield wipers. Observing what it feels like now to move into these. Coming back to center, bring your feet a little bit closer together. Draw your right knee into chest, flex the toes up. So the left one can stay bent, or you can extend it long. Tuck the chin, tip it down slightly to lengthen through your crown. And breathe into this rest, digest posture. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Expand through your belly, your rib cage, your chest with your breath. With your next breath, let's switch sides. Drawing in the left, flex the toes, keeping the right one bent or long. Wonderful. Now release both legs long. Have the legs wide and the toes fall out. Bring the arms out away from the body. Relax the fingers, tuck the shoulder blades underneath you, tip the chin down. Find yourself back in Shavasana where we started. Notice your toes. Notice your ankles. Relax through your calf. Release through your hips, allowing the floor to fully support you. Relax the chest, the shoulders, the belly. Relax your face. Notice anything that may have shifted for you throughout the practice. What feels more open? What feels stronger? How is your breath? If your mind is wandering off into the future, come back to your breath. Focus on the inhale and the exhale without force. Notice your back pressing into your mat and your belly rising. Inhale, exhale. Slowly move through those fingers and toes once again. Gently rock your head from side to side. Maybe rotate through the wrists and ankles if that feels right for you. And then on an inhalation, bringing everything back to center, draw your legs together, stretch your arms up overhead. Reach and stretch long. Pointing and flexing your toes, maybe reaching one side longer than the other. And then with your exhalation, draw your knees into chest. Give yourself a hug one more time and rock side to side. And then rolling over slowly onto your right side and pausing there for a breath. And then slowly making your way up to your comfortable seated position, hands over heart, eyes closed. Taking a couple of more breaths here, knowing that this is your time, enjoying the calm and the peace and the quiet you have in this now moment. And happy holidays to each and every one of you. Namaste.